Okay, so welcome, and we are going to be talking about illness and sleep. Illness can really affect and throw off our little one's sleep, and it can often throw us. Sometimes it can come out of the blue. We don't know when illness is going to come, especially if you've got a little one and they've just started nursery or daycare and they're around other children. Don't know what it is, but little children love to put everything in their mouth, and then all the other babies put it in their mouth. Germs are spread. Colds can just keep going around children like there's no tomorrow. Teething as well can be really, really hard to deal with. So it's rough. It's rough, and we know that in order for the illness to go, we need sleep. Our little ones need sleep, so it can often become a bit of a vicious cycle. So what I'm going to do today is go through my tips on how to deal with illness and sleep, and these are the exact tips that I share with my clients, my families, when I work with them. Okay, so the first one, so this is all it's going to be about, is minimizing the sleep disruption. I'm not going to selling you a dream of, oh, your child's going to be sick, but sleep won't be affected and it will be perfect. First stage is actually accepting that nights are going to be disturbed because of illness. Us as adults, when we're not very well, we don't sleep well. I know it's hard, but try and cast your minds back to pre-children, when children weren't here. If we had a cough or a cold, like I know myself, I sleep with my mouth closed. So when I've got a cold and I can't breathe through my nose, I'm like a bear with a sore head. If I have to try and breathe through my mouth, I can't sleep. I'm trying to prop up my pillows. It's not pretty. I've had a bad night's sleep. It's not good. So for our little ones, it's even harder for them because they're so little and they can't deal with illness as well as we can. It's really, really rough on them. So acceptance is the first stage of trying to get through illness and sleep. So just know that they're babies, they're children, they're not very well. Nights are going to be disrupted. So when we think about it like that, when our nights are disrupted, they're just a little bit more easier for us to accept. Okay. But also bear in mind that it won't last forever. There's going to be that light at the end of the tunnel. Sleep is going to go back to the way it was. Okay. It's just they're not very well and it's hard for them to cope with. Okay. So the next thing to my top tip is if you're really worried about how sick your child is and you want to monitor them overnight, it's always best for you to go into their bedroom and not have them come into your bed. Okay. If your little one's sick and they've got a bit of a temperature, when they come into your bed, even if it's just you, or if it's just you and your partner, and they're sleeping on the same mattress as you, that temperature is automatically going to raise their temperature because there's two body heats on that mattress. Okay, so it's automatically going to raise their temperature, which obviously is not going to be good for them. So that's my number one reason really for not bringing them into your bed. Okay. Secondly, it's far easier for you to remove yourself from their bedroom once the illness is over, or once you're happy that actually they can sleep in their bedroom by themselves. It's far easier to remove yourself. So if you want to, if you're really worried and you want to monitor them, go into their bedroom. Again, except that you'll have a few restless nights if you either want to sleep in a chair in their bedroom or have a mattress or lay on their floor. Whatever you want to do is absolutely fine. It's your child, you're worried about them. That's perfectly okay. Okay. So however you want to sort that out, but going into their bedroom is always better. Okay. Then you've kind of got some options on what you want to do once you think that the illness is over. So you can either go, right, I'm just going to go back into my bedroom now. That way the environment of where your little one sleeps hasn't changed. They're still either in their own cot, their own bed, their bedding, their night lights, their sound machines, if you're using any of those things. So the environment, so that when they wake up in the night, they're like, okay, no, everything's still the same. It's just mummy or daddy isn't here. But because it was only for a few nights, it's not a big deal and it's not going to be a problem. Okay. If your little one is old enough, it's for understanding, talk to them, tell them, say, look, mummy and daddy just going to sleep with you just for a few nights, just to make sure you're okay, because we're a little bit worried that you're not well. And then the night that you're then going to go back to your bedroom, tell them, say, look, you're well, you're better now, mummy and daddy are going to go back to sleeping in their bed, you're going to stay in your bedroom. Okay, so if they're at that level of understanding, talk to them about it. It's not a secret. If they're obviously younger and they don't understand, again, the environment in which they sleep hasn't changed, so that's a massive benefit. So it's you can either just go straight to it and go straight back into your own bedroom, or if you want to be there while they fall asleep and then leave, and then they wake up and like, hey, mummy or daddy's not there, that's kind of slowly getting them used to it. Or you can move yourself slowly out of their bedroom. So if you're sleeping next to their cot, then you can move your mattress or wherever you were sleeping a little bit more towards the door, so your child is getting used to you actually leaving the bedroom and not being there anymore. That's a really good way of doing it, nice and gently and slowly. If unless your doctor has advised otherwise about fluids, it's best just to stick to water. Okay, so if they're sick and they're not very well and you think they're either dehydrated or they need some extra fluids, of course, always go and speak to your doctor. Take their advice because it's medical. But if your doctor hasn't said anything, or they're just, if you think they're teething, it's always best just to stick to water as an extra fluid of a night time. Don't panic. Don't panic. Don't think, oh my gosh, sleep has been thrown off now. It's going to be like this forevermore. It's not. It's just a moment in time. Okay. What I will say is, be consistent with your approach to illness or teething. With teething, if you think how many teeth your little one are going to get, you want to have a consistent approach, because teething occurs a lot. So what you don't want to do is change the rules every time you think your little one is teething. That's just going to send a very confusing message to them. So whatever it is that you want to do to deal with it is fine. Just make sure it's consistent every time you think teething happens. You'll know it's definitely teething of a night time, because the symptoms you see at night, you will see during the day. So you'll see the rosy cheeks, you'll see the insane amounts of dribble, you'll see maybe a nappy rash. If you're not seeing those during the day, but your baby's unsettled at night, then it's definitely not teething, because babies don't teeth just at night. They teeth the whole night through, the whole day and night through as well. So be sure on what it is, because what you don't want to do is change the rules every time you think your little one's teething. Otherwise, you'll be forever changing things, and your little one will be like, well, what is it now? I'm a little bit confused. Same with if they're ill, if they keep picking up bugs, especially if they've got a sibling as well that passes things on, just decide your approach and stick to it. Doesn't matter what it is, because every family is different and every baby is different, and it's your choice with what you do and how you deal with it. You can incorporate these tips that I've given you to make it easier on yourself to come out the other side, but actually what you do during it is really and truly up to you, and it always will be. But just making it consistent, so your child knows, okay, I know I've seen this before, I know what's going to happen in a few days' time, and it's easier for them to understand. But don't panic. Don't be like, this is it forevermore. It's not. Your little one's not well, or they're teething. That's life. It's going to happen. None of us are going to have a plain sailing ride with sleep. Even now, my little boy's 6 years old, he still has disturbed nights. That is life. Me as an adult, even though he's sleeping soundly, I still have really bad night's sleep sometimes. That is okay. We do not expect perfection when it comes to sleep. Being consistent massively helps you. It helps you, and if you're living with someone as well, so husband, partner, family member, if you all have the same approach, it's easier on your little one as well, because when your little one knows what's happening and what's coming, it makes them just feel nice and safe and secure. But a good night's sleep for your little one is key as well, because that's when their immune system rests and reboots, and that's when they can fight off any illness and or help with the teething if that's what they're going through. So those are my tips, my top tips on how to deal with illness. Stick to water, consult your doctor, move into their bedroom if you really want to monitor them. If you have done and then you're ready to move back out, you can either just go for it, full hog, and just go back into your own bedroom. If they're at an age where they can understand, talk to them about it, explain it. Or you've got the option of moving slowly away from their bed until you're out of their bedroom. Knowing it won't last forever, it's just a phase, and just accepting that they're not well. And there's not much you can do about it other than just keep going through it, and being consistent with your approach will massively help. So I hope that has been helpful, and I will see you on the next one.